إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآله إنك حميد مجيد. أما بعد عباد الله. All praise due to Allah and His praise and blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and his followers until the day of judgment. I bear witness that Allah is the only one worthy of worship, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam his last and final messenger. My dear brothers and sisters, Al-Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah and others reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was there with his uncle Abu Talib in the last few minutes of Abu Talib's life. And the Prophet ﷺ kept saying to him, Ay my uncle, say La ilaha illallah, kalimatun uhajju laka biha indallah. A statement that you make that I can use in the day of judgment to argue with my Lord to save you in the day of judgment from the hellfire. Because as we know, if you say La ilaha illallah, فإن الله حرم على من قال لا إله إلا الله النار يعني الخلود فيها. Those who say La ilaha illallah and they believe in it and they understand the meaning of it and they believe in it, they will not stay in hellfire ever. They will end up in Jannah. So the Prophet ﷺ was asking his uncle to say it right before he died. But Abu Jahl was there telling him, بل على أتترك ملة آبائك وأجدادك. Are you going to leave the religion and the practices and the culture of your father and your forefathers and your tribe and your family and your people? And that's a decision that Abu Talib was struggling with all his life, since the Prophet ﷺ told him that he is a prophet, a messenger from his Lord. It was a decision that Abu Talib was not able to make. He was always confused. He should follow his heart and what does logically make perfect sense to him. He knows that this is the perfect man, a man who never lies, a man who he knows very well, this is his nephew. He knows that his religion is the best religion. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُ بِأَنَّ خَيْرَ أَدْيَانِ الْبَرِيَّةِ دِينَ مُحَمَّدٍ هذا ما قال. That's what exactly he said. I know for sure that the best religion, the best teaching is the teaching of Islam and the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لولا المنام, just because I'm worried that I'm going to shame my family, I will declare it openly that I believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Matter of fact, Abu Talib took decisions that he will stand beside his nephew and he will help him. After he asked him, he said that your people and my family are putting a lot of pressure on me. So yeah, my nephew, what do you want to do? Then he said, look at the difference between this person who didn't make his mind yet and the Prophet ﷺ. قال يا عم, even though the hadith is not strong, يعني الحديث ليس صحيح من جهة الإسناد لكنه من روايات السيرة التي تذكر. It is in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. We are not very strict on the authenticity of the chain of narrator. Anyway, the Prophet ﷺ told him, والله لو وضعوا الشمس على يميني والقمر على يساري ما تركت هذا الأمر. If they give me the sun in my hand side, my right side, the sun, and the moon in my left hand side, or they give it to me, I own the sun and the moon, I will not leave this. I will not leave this religion. He's very, he very settled in his belief, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyway, so what happened with Abu Talib, who been all his life, all these years thinking, should I not, should I do, should I don't? مات على ملة أبي طالب. مات على ملة أبا. He died as a kafir. He died as the same belief of his forefathers. He lost الدنيا والآخرة نسأل الله العافية. This is an example. In another example, also during the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the other story reported by Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, وهو حديث حسن حسنه الحافظ بن حجر وغيره, that Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu used to say to his students, قال حدثوني عن رجل يدخل الجنة أو دخل الجنة ولم يصلي لله صلاة قط. Abu Hurairah said, tell me about a man who entered Jannah and he never prayed a single time in his life. Not a single rak'ah. He never put his head down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he still ended up in Jannah. And the successors and the young companions wouldn't know who that person is. How can you go to Jannah and you don't pray? This is something they couldn't imagine. Then Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, when he was asked, who is it? He said, إِنَّهُ أُصَيْرِمْ بني عبد الأشهل. His name is Amr ibn Thabit ibn Wuqaysh. This man, he also had a lot of time to think about the call of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He lived in Medina and he knew about Islam. He knew about the da'wah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But in the battle of Uhud, he made that decision. He made a decision to join the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of a sudden, he showed up in the battlefield. And he injured so badly, he was bleeding. And when he was seen bleeding and injured so badly, defending the Prophet ﷺ and helping the Prophet ﷺ in this battle, he was asked, قال أتقاتل ضد قومك أو حمية عن الإسلام? Are you fighting your people because, the Medina versus Mecca is a tribal thing, or it is you're here just because you believe in Islam? He said, Bal, I'm here to protect the Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and al-Islam. Then when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was asked about him, he died. He was asked about him, what do you think of him? Then the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّهُ لَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. He is among the people of paradise. This man have made the decision and have made a very clear decision, and he did not stuck at that period of thinking, should I do it, should I not do it? And that's why he ended his life. He took the opportunity in front of him and he won the akhirah. I think one of the biggest problems that a lot of people facing in their life, indecision, being indecisive. You can't make your mind. You cannot make up your mind. You cannot make a decision. You're always thinking, should I do, should I not? You put one step forward and 3 steps back. You're not a person who's willing to take the risk and to make the move. And you know what? A lot of people have this, I'm not sure if I should do it or not. I think we all suffer from somehow of indecision at times. If we are not careful, this can be very dangerous disease. Can become a debilitating problem which it feeds on itself. And it grows and can prevent you from a lot of good things in life that you cannot achieve. It will take you away and shift you away to a dark corner that you live in this life, and you might even lose the dunya wal akhirah because of this quality. هذا التردد المشين that prevent the person from making decision that it will make them win, make them progress, make them grow. It can be a very big obstacles in our life. So many chances, so many opportunities have gone and basically been missed. The only reason it is because you could not make a decision at the right time, in the right place. That's the only reason you missed that opportunity. It is when you lose that feeling, that determination inside you that I will make that decision, I will make that steps, I will do this. It is always hesitant. It's always thinking, this and that, and at the end of the day, you end up doing nothing. You're just thinking about it. And I believe it's often related to the lack of confidence in ourselves, in our decisions, in our ability to make decision or to make that move that you want to do. My brothers and sisters, the more you became indecisive in life, the more you don't make decisions in your life, the more you became a person who's not capable of living your life in the right way. And this can be in religious areas and as well in worldly matters. It's a problem that students face. And problems that, I still remember a friend of mine in the exam. He will spend the first hour thinking of the 3 hours the exam. I still remember it clearly in Usul al-Fiqh. It's a 3-hour exam, the longest one. The first hour my friend will spend which question he should start with. Thinking about, oh, this one or that one, which one is better? And he cannot make that decision. And it became very frustrating for the person. It makes your dreams slip away. It makes your hopes in life shrink, and you don't have big. If you really want to be a person who makes a difference in his or her life, you want a person who achieves high goals in life, you have to make up your mind quickly. You have to be able to make decisions. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, one of his common dua every day in the night and in the morning, كان من دعاء ليله ونهاره صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم إني أعوذ بك من العجز والكسل. Ya Allah, protect me. I seek refuge with you from al-ajz wal-kasal. Because not achieving your goals mainly comes from two reasons. عدم حصول المقصود يحصل من جهتين. جهة خارجة عنك, when you don't achieve what you want, because the reason you have no control over it. You don't have the ability to make any change about it. That's why he said, أعوذ بك من العجز. That I'm not capable. I can't make this change. You know, I can't make a change in the situation that happened to certain people today in the world. I can't. But also he said, وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنَ الْكَسَلِ. I ask you to protect me from being laziness. Because one of the other reasons for us not why we don't achieve our goals in life, it is not something external, it's something internal. It is you just being lazy. It's just you being not capable or not able to make that decision, even though you have the capability to do that. And I have few tips for us that can help us to make these strong decisions in life and to be able to do it and to move on with our life. A lot of people saying for a long time, I want to memorize the Quran, I want to do this, I want to learn Arabic, I want to learn the deen, I want to have the Salat al-Jama'ah in regular, I want to start a business, I want to move, I want to expand, I want to start saving. So many things in life. I want to lose weight, I want to do this, but they don't make the decision yet. I'm not talking about some make a decision. Even this is in earlier steps of people cannot make a decision. There is a lot of opportunity come in front of them and they can't make their mind up. You know, opportunity for marriages, and I see this a lot in so many different ways. And I think the first point that I would like to say, that person must admit that he or she has this problem. I've seen a lot of people, when it comes to this issue, they try to justify their indecisiveness in many different ways by saying, oh, I'm being cautious. Oh, I am being wise. Oh, I am being, making a good study and planning properly for the issue. But the issue is not lack of planning. The issue is not the lack of wisdom. The issue is the lack of courage. The issue that you are from your own side weak to make that decision, scared to make that steps, to face that challenge. That's the reality. Then I think one of the most important things is to make sure that you admit that. It's like this guy who say, I used to be indecisive, but I'm not sure if I am anymore. I mean, you have still the same problem, don't you? Indecision may or may not be my problem. Okay, it's clearly it is your problem, bro. So here what you need to do is to make sure that you admit that. Number two, make sure that you have clear goals in life. Clear goals help a lot of people to make decisions quickly and focus. And they can make their goals very precisely. I was speaking once in a church about, in a gathering, about goals in life and how Islam help us to be productive. So this old man came to me and he showed me a piece of paper. He took it out of his wallet and he showed it to me. He said, Sheikh, I like your talk and I just want to share this with you so you can share it with people later on. And I do share his story. He said, see, these are 5 goals. I wrote it down when I was like about 30 years old. I would achieve by the age of 65 or so, by the 70. And he said, achieve all my goals. But during the course of this last 30 years of my life, every decision, major decision I'm about to make in my life, I look at these 5 points and I say, is this decision going to help me to achieve this goal or not? If it's yes, I'll do it. If it's no, I let it go. The more you have clear goals in life, in every area in your life, it will help you to make your decision correctly, perfectly. But the more you're vague in life or vague, the more your goals in life are vague. Really, even your goals, you're indecisive about it. You don't know which goal you want. In every area, most likely if you don't know what you want, most likely you're never going to get what you want. Number three, if you have a goal, make sure that you have a plan how you're going to achieve these goals. And lead me to the fourth point, which is actions. Taking actions. If you really want to defeat this problem, this psychological problem in you, you have to learn to take the risk, to take actions. To overcome indecision, we need to have the faith to follow our intuition. We have to basically transfer these thoughts into actions, and that's what will make you move with your decision. Even if sometimes you realize that your decision that you made was not 100% correct, was not the best decision, believe me, it is much better than being stuck in that status, which is indecisive. Being indecisive. Being in that level, which is you don't know what you want to do. And you let things go because you couldn't make a decision. Indecision is often worse than wrong actions. Number 5, one of the things that help us to make decision in our life is to not to try to be perfect. You know, we are human beings. We're not meant to be perfect. A lot of people just want to make the perfect plan, the perfect excuse. Perfection comes with practice. It comes when you start taking actions. It's not going to come from the first time. You plan your best, but you have to take your basically steps. Those who always look for zero risk, for 100% guarantee, that's nothing in life usually goes like that. And I think this is one of the hindrances that prevent a lot of people from making decisions in their life. And one of the reasons for a lot of people to miss a lot of opportunities, because they think it has to be 100% perfect. It doesn't need to be that. Perfect. Number 6, so many times also we fear failing. Making mistakes, failing is not a big problem. It's actually not a negative thing. Making mistakes and failing, it's an excellent opportunity for you to learn to grow. But you have to have the right attitude to deal with it. So many times we cannot make a decision because I'm worried that what if I fail? So what? Just tell yourself, so what if I fail? So what if it's wrong? You know what? I will learn. I will, in the worst case scenario, I will take this as an opportunity for me to grow. Number 7, they try to generate a self-confidence. That's a very key point here. Have a self-confidence. And it deserves an actually a khutbah by itself. Talk about how to build a self-confidence. And I do believe that you as a believer, you're a person who walks on the earth and you know that Allah is with you if you are with Him. And a person who knows that everything is biqada'illahi wa qadarih. When you walk in this earth and you know ما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك وما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك. Whatever missed you, it missed you because it never meant to hit you or never meant to reach you. And whatever you receive, you will receive it no matter what you try. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala planned that, ordained that. If you have this confidence that you're dealing with the most merciful, the most wise, the most just, the most fair, why wouldn't you have a confidence? Why would you know when you know عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ أَلَا إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلَّهُ لَهُ خَيْرٌ. Everything happened for the mu'min, it is good for him or her. If you have these meanings, how can you don't build a self-confidence? What can you give you more confidence in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And knowing the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you. And the wisdom of Al-Qadr is always there. Number 8, I think one of the things that I notice a lot of people, they don't make decisions in their life because they convince themselves there is a valid reason preventing them from making this decision. And in reality, it's not a valid reason. In reality, it's imaginary reasons. People think that, you know what, I'm not going to do, for example, start this business or start doing this or start or doing this kind of practices because this or that. And when you come and you just pause a second and look at these excuses, because, you know, usually excuses and results, they don't come together. Excuses and results, they don't come together. Either one of them. If there is excuses, usually there's no results. If there is results, there is no excuses. Means bring results, but not excuses. You know, I always like to make this, you know, we all have excuses. Sometimes, you know, every doctor tells me, Sheikh Waleed, you need to lose weight, you need to watch your health, blah, blah, blah. I said, I travel a lot, my lifestyle is this and that, you know. So I have excuses. That's why I never, you know, I don't get results. And, you know, realizing this help you to change the course of your life. It's like this guy was the doctor telling him, hey, watch out, you're diabetic. Okay, you need to watch out. He said, no, it's not about my bad habits of food or eating. You know, diabetes is something runs in the family. He said, son, I'm worried that no one in the family runs. That's why you have a diabetes. It's not that it runs in the family. I'm worried that you guys don't exercise. That's why you guys diabetic. So excuses sometimes are fake. You know, excuses, oh, I'm worried people give me an evil eye. People envy me. People this, people, and sometimes we kind of exaggerate. Can be reason, but sometimes we exaggerate reasons like this that prevent us from moving on in our life. And you know what? The worst thing in life, that you make your life controlled by the people that you yourself have no respect for. That you yourself know for sure that they're not your friends. And you make them control your life. A lot of people don't make decisions because they worry what people would say, what other people talk about me. You know what? I have to suffer just because what other people will think. Who cares what other people say? Who cares if you dealing with Allah the correct way and you're doing the right course of actions? You should move forward. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us always the courage to do the right thing. أقول ما سمعتم أستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد. Number 10, the 10th point that I have is one of the things that help you to make decisions correctly, if you have a good friends that you consult. People who have good, can give you good advice. And I want you, if you ever approached by someone to ask you for advice, the best way to give someone advice is not to make the decision for them. When you want to give someone advice, don't make the decision for them. Let them make the decision. Your role is to explain to them the positive, the negative, the benefits, and let them make that decision. Because a lot of people would like other people to make decisions on their behalf. And they feel that this is make them in the safe zone. You know, we need to learn to make decisions. We need to learn to take responsibilities of our actions. I think if we learn this, we should invest in this in the early age of our kids. Make them make decisions and they bear the consequences of their actions. Good or bad, right or wrong. And let them learn. So when they grow up, they can make good decisions. And they don't miss so many opportunities in their lives. You know, I grew up listening from family members and friends saying to me, oh, you know, this piece of land was dirt cheap, and I had the money. If I bought it, I will be having $1 million now, or this and that. You know what? You're going to say the same thing 10 years later, and 20 years later, and just you go into this cycle of doom because you never make a decision. You never come together and move forward. I think if you want to learn how to be a person who is decisive, make sure that you put a timeline for yourself. You want to make a decision about something, just don't spend the rest of your life thinking about it, or a whole year to think about it. You want to buy this car, just by this week, I'm going to make this decision. It's either buying it or not buying it. I'm going to buy this house. Just put a timeline for yourself, deadline. But if you just open end like that, you're going to keep your life dragging, and no progress, no results. no achievement. And believe me, living alive with a little bit of achievement in the end of the week, a little bit of achievement in the end of your every stage in your life. You're 30 years old now, you're 40 years old now, you're 50 years old now, and you look back what you have made religiously, financially, and you look back and you see a little bit of achievement, a little bit of result. That's a very depressing life. Very, very bad life. That's not a positive thing. While you look back, wow, I finished, all this education, I made this, I have a family, I have this, I established that. That's something make you feel big difference between the two. How you live your life and how you deal with your future. If you want to learn how to be a decisive person, try new things in life. Try it. Force yourself to new things in life. You know what they say? They say nothing ventured, nothing gained. If people not willing to lose sight of the shore, they would never discover new lands. If people not willing to lose sight of the shore, they would never discover new lands. That's how it is. You have to push yourself to try new things. And finally, I think all this comes also down to a very main important foundation, which is the concept of التوكل على الله سبحانه وتعالى, the trusting Allah عز وجل. وعلى الله فتوكلوا إن كنتم مؤمنين إن كنتم مسلمين وإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله وتوكل على الحي الذي لا يموت توكل على الذي يراك حين تقوم. All these verses reminding us of Allah, the one who's there, the one who's watching, the one who's alive, the one who's capable. If you truly believe in Allah, if you truly submit yourself to Allah, so trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take the necessary means, but take the actions while you have this trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't misunderstand me. Decisive people, not people who are arrogant. Decisive people, not the people who are unwise, who make irrational decisions. Decisive people, not the people who don't review and check themselves and hold themselves accountable. No. But what I want you to do to be decisive when it comes to good deeds, when it comes to good opportunity, I want you, when you think and you plan, you take actions. My brothers and sisters, any indecisive is a result of fear. Don't listen to it. And irrational fear, I mean. Any indecisive that it comes because the lack of confidence in yourself, or a'udhu billah, lack of confidence in Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't listen to it. That's the bad, that's the negative. But any indecisive or decisiveness, or you have doubt about something because a valid reason, Shari'i reason, Islamically, this is valid reason for me to think about it twice before I do, or because, logically, this is something very risky and the risk is very high, and you know what? Yes, I understand that. That's something I can understand. You try to look at the advantage, disadvantage, the good and the bad, and you make a decision after that. May Allah Azza wa Jal to protect us from al-ajz wal-kasal. Allahumma ighfir lana warhamna وعافنا واعف عنا وأكرم نزلنا وأحسن مآلنا وأحسن خاتمتنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قصرنا فيه من حقك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وما قصرنا فيه من حق عبادك فتحمل عنا يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تغفر لنا وللمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم وفق وأعن وسدد كل من أراد خيرا يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم قوي على قلبه واربط على قلبه يا حي يا قيوم وسدده يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم إني أسألك أن تلطف بإخواننا المسلمين في سوريا. اللهم الطف بهم يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم الطف بهم يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم الطف بهم يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم عجل بفرجهم عجل بفرجهم عجل بفرجهم. اللهم داوي جرحاهم. اللهم داوي جرحاهم وارحم موتاهم واحفظ الحي منهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم احفظ المشردين منهم المهجرين من بلادهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. في البر والبحر يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم إنا نسألك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أن ترفع الظلم عن المظلومين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم أنزل رحمتك علينا في هذا المسجد يا ذا الجلال والإكرام، وبركاتك بمنك وكرمك، إنك أنت أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لوالدينا، اللهم اغفر لوالدينا، اللهم اغفر لوالدينا، اللهم اغفر لوالدينا أحياء وأمواتا. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تغفر لقرابتنا وذوي أرحامنا ومن له حق علينا. اللهم إني أسألك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام بأسمائك الحسنى وصفاتك العلى أن تختم بالصالحات أعمالنا. اللهم اختم بالصالحات أعمالنا. اللهم اجعل خير أيامنا يوم نلقاك وأنت راض عنا يا حي يا قيوم. صل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وقوموا للصلاة يرحمكم الله.